Hi, everyone. Before we conclude this fantastic summit, we have some awards to present. The Yolanda Garcia Community Planning Award was created in 2006 to honor the work of grassroots community-based planning. The award recognizes the inspiring successes of some of our city's most remarkable unsung heroes. It is named for the late Yolanda Garcia, a tireless advocate for community self-determination in the South Bronx. We commemorate both Ms. Garcia's work and the activist spirit she brought to crucial issues in her own neighborhood. She contributed to her neighborhood's revitalization through community organizing, planning, and a resilient spirit. Her strength and dynamic leadership taught professional planners and others in city government that everyday New Yorkers can often provide solutions to serious neighborhood needs. At MAS, we believe neighborhoods are the building blocks of our city, and planning is a collaborative process that involves stakeholders at all levels. As community leaders, like Ms. Garcia, continue to incorporate neighborhood need into New York City's planning process, we achieve a greater vision and a more livable city. And we're grateful to the community leaders who act as a jury for this award: Tom Angadi, Jessica Clemente, Ron Schiffman, Kelly Williams, and Elizabeth Yempierre. Thank you. Here today to present the Yolanda Garcia Award is Jessica Clemente, the Executive Director of We Stay Los Caminos, the nonprofit community organization founded by Yolanda Garcia. Jessica?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for this honor to be here to share the esteemed Yolanda Garcia Community Planner Award. What's specifically significant about this year's award for us at Nos Quedamos is this year is our 20th anniversary year. And with that said, the 20 years that we've managed to persevere through has been one that has been riddled with successes and also challenges. Knowing that communities like the South Bronx, specifically in Melrose, has risen through the ashes in a lot of respects, so has our organization. And I'm here proudly before you to say that with this new chapter, we're so principled and in the spirit of Yolanda Garcia are here with the same mission and a new vision. This new vision is embodied in a lot of respects by our honoree today, and in a lot of respects how I even came before you as a product of the South Bronx, growing up not too far from Melrose, really becoming engaged in such a way and empowered by opportunities to affect change in my neighborhood, and how critical that really is to really be able to make the conversations that we have here in the last 2 days possible. Community engagement is not just a hashtag that I really want to impress upon everyone. Community engagement is something that really can impact change in a transformative way that we see in Melrose and how we are looking to replicate in other communities throughout New York and the world even. And that's something that we take a lot of pride in, and something that very much needs to be invested in and safeguarded. And so with that, I want to be able to share that Yolanda Garcia and her ambitions and her, just like her, not wanting to say or take no for an answer, Iris Morales, our recipient of the Yolanda Garcia Community Planner Award, has dedicated her life to a progressive agenda based on community need. Her work with Manhattan Neighborhood Network exemplifies life, work, philosophy. Whether being a benefactor to many of the city's up-and-coming nonprofit groups or creating a community of media makers empowered to tell their own stories, Edie's has been focused on supporting communities throughout the city, and now leading an organization dedicated to creating opportunities for people to tell their stories through the power of media. Her work had always reflected her beliefs and passions. And looking at the next 20 years of not only our chapter, but the chapter in our communities, we've come a long way in development and changing the physical landscape. But we still have a long way and much more further to go when we talk about social justice and environmental justice in our communities, which is why it's important that we are able to remain here to share our stories of empowerment and progress. And I want to welcome Edith Morales and her abilities to do that and empower the community in doing so. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be introduced by Jessica. She is indeed a proud treasure in our community and a leader, and a principal leader at that. I'm deeply honored to receive this award named for Yolanda Garcia, who through her activism opened hearts and doors for the progress of low-income communities. I also began my activism fighting for the right of all people to decent and affordable housing. I was a young tenant organizer. This led me to work on issues concerning healthcare, public education, and labor rights. And like so many of my generation, I joined grassroots organizations that resulted and made dramatic changes in our society and in the status quo. These experiences shaped my deeply held belief in the critical role of grassroots organizing on the ground, in engaging residents in community building. As Jessica said, community engagement is on the ground, and in bringing resources, financial and technical resources, and partnerships to the neighborhood level. Yolanda Garcia understood these fundamentals. She understood that these fundamentals generate progress for low-income communities, but also sustain the city as a whole. Most recently, as Jessica mentioned, my attention has turned to the role of media in our public discourse and its impact in shaping public policy. My current work includes providing media education and tools to empower low-income communities to tell their stories, to produce media, to broadcast it, and to bring out issues, social, political, cultural issues that are not addressed in the mainstream networks. I humbly accept this Yolanda Garcia Award and for being considered one among many. As a lifelong activist for social justice, I know I do not stand alone. I'm pleased to see so many of you sitting here and contributing some aspect, because we are all interconnected. In the spirit of this award, I dedicate it to the great leaders who have passed on and to all of the activists who currently are working consistently and tirelessly among us. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Allison Tachi.
Good afternoon. As you can see from your program, it says that it would be Gordon Davis Esquire. You can see that I'm not Gordon Davis Esquire, but I'm filling in for Gordon, who had to be out of town suddenly. I'm so pleased to be here today to present this award, the W. Allison and Elizabeth Stubbs Davis Award. This award recognizes what we call parkies, New York City Department of Parks and Recreation workers who have shown dedication and tremendous support to the communities they serve. This year, I'm honored to present the Stubbs Davis Award to Charles Gili, Chief of Operations in Brooklyn for the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation. Charlie's career for parks began in 1982 as a ranger, and he's held numerous positions before being promoted in 2002 to the Brooklyn Chief of Operations. Charlie's long history of dedication to parks is well known throughout the agency. He is respected for his work ethic, and with his boundless knowledge of our urban parks, he is always willing to offer guidance or expertise to his colleagues. This was exemplified in his tireless efforts during Superstorm Sandy and his contributions to ensure that his fellow staff and the public were safe before, during, and after the storm. What's also well known about Charlie, and there are a few things that aren't so well known about him, what's also well known about Charlie is his enthusiasm and support for his community. In 2007, he and his family established the U.S. Hockey Players Support Our Troops to raise funds in support of the New York State Gold Star families who have lost loved ones in Iraq and Afghanistan. This also led to the creation of Field of Flags, an event that honors post-9/11 fallen heroes from New York State. It is selfless and caring acts like these, both in his community and for parks, that make Charlie Gili so deserving of this award. He's here today with his wife, Laura, to accept the award. Little known fact, at 9 years old, he was also the New York State accordion champion. He's a great guy and well deserving of this award. Please put your hands together for Charlie Gili. Charlie.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for hanging around all day to just hear me speak. I promise to be brief. So I just want to thank, I know Gordon's not here today, but I knew Gordon. Gordon was the Commissioner of Parks when I started back in 1982, and was soon replaced by another fellow who was very interesting. But anyway, it was my fault because as a park ranger, one of my first duties was to let that other fellow into the arsenal. But anyway, all kidding aside, it was great. This particular recognition is really special to me because I was a park ranger, and that was Gordon's program, to bring young people, and at that time I was still a young people, fresh out of college and looking to find my way in the world. And it was a great opportunity for me, and I've loved every minute. I've been almost 32 years doing various jobs in the Parks Department. I've always been really lucky to be part of great teams, both at home with my really incredibly supportive family, and all the folks at work. The other passion of mine besides coaching ice hockey, for women actually, very proud to say I have a college hockey player daughter that somehow learned how to shoot the puck and skate real well because her dad was an insane hockey coach. But, the thing that's really become a passion of mine is helping and working with Gold Star families, both in New York State and beyond. When we started the program back in 2007, our intention was to do it for one hockey season and to try and make a difference in a few people's lives. And it's a long time since 2007, but I've crossed paths with nearly 1,300 Gold Star families in probably 40 states or more. And we'll keep at it until they all come home. So let's all pray that that happens. And if you do run into a soldier on the street, please thank them for their service. And let's do everything we can to get them back here safe and sound. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Janno Lieber.
Well, There's a slight urge to be brief when you're looking outside on a beautiful day like this at Central Park, so I will do my best. You've just heard from people who are getting awards for their great service to the city, and all of them in different ways have done amazing things. The Municipal Art Society also celebrates physical buildings and what they contribute to the city. And this year, the MAS Friends of the Arts celebrate great design by presenting this year's MAS MASterworks Awards. The MASterworks Awards take place on Wednesday, November 6th on the 72nd floor of 4 World Trade Center, 1 week in advance of our building's grand opening. And we are proud that we believe that this building exemplifies a lot of the things that MAS has always stood for: great architecture, an emphasis on the built environment, and creating a version of New York that honors all the things that we aspire to in terms of being a diverse 21st century city. And in so many ways, I think everybody is starting to realize that it's not your grandfather's downtown anymore. It's not the downtown that with the ultimate central business district that rolled up the sidewalks at 5 o'clock. And to the contrary, it's become, in many ways, the greatest example of a mixed-use district where the population has more than doubled since 9/11. You've got all of a sudden not just great office buildings, but also great retail, public facilities, new transportation, all the things that make for an amazing community. And we're just cycling some of the images of 4 World Trade Center, the building in which this award ceremony is going to take place, behind me. So we hope you'll come down and see the building and participate. The MASterworks Awards celebrate people and projects that exemplify excellence in architecture and urban design, as I said. Encouraging a beautiful and inspiring city, the awards reflect the MAS goal of a city with aspirational architecture and intelligent urban design for a livable New York. So, the winners of the 2013 MASterworks Awards are: Best New Building, the Campbell Sports Center by Stephen Hole Architects. Best Restoration, McCarran Pool and Bath House by Rogers Marvel, that great restoration in northern Brooklyn. Best Neighborhood Catalyst, the Barclays Center by the always busy Shop Architects. Best New Urban Amenity, the Brooklyn Botanic Garden Visitor Center by Weiss Manfredi. And as a Brooklynite, I just hasten to emphasize that 3 out of the 4 winners are in Brooklyn. All right. It's an urban planning crowd, a lot of Brooklynites. There will be cocktails at 4 World Trade Center at 6 p.m. and the awards presentation begins at 7. Tickets are available online at mas.org, and there will be a limited number of tickets available for a special architectural tour of 4 World Trade Center immediately preceding the event. So we urge you and we welcome you to join us on November 6th at 4 World Trade Center. Thank you.